On January 2nd, 2025, the world's top astronomers made a mistake so embarrassing it should terrify you about what they're telling us now. The Minor Planet Center, the official body designated by the International Astronomical Union to catalog every object in space, identified what they called a near-Earth asteroid. They logged it, announced it, added it to their official database. 24 hours later, they quietly deleted it. Because it wasn't an asteroid, it was Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster, the car he launched into space in 2018, the one with Starman in the driver's seat. The experts, the people we trust to identify threats from space, couldn't tell the difference between a sports car and a space rock. And now, those same experts are telling you that 3I Atlas is just a normal comet. Here's what Harvard's Avi Loeb said about that Tesla incident, and I want you to listen carefully to what he's really saying. When comet experts argue that 3I Atlas must be a familiar water-rich comet as soon as it was discovered on July 1st, 2025, they behaved like artificial intelligence systems which reflect their training data sets. Think about what that means. For decades, these scientists have only studied icy rocks from our solar system. That's their entire frame of reference. That's their training data. So, when something comes from interstellar space, from a completely different star system billions of years older than ours, they automatically categorize it using the only vocabulary they know: comet or asteroid. But what if it's neither? Loeb points out something uncomfortable. There are roughly 100 billion stars like our Sun in the Milky Way. About 10 billion of them host habitable Earth-sized planets. Most of those stars are billions of years older than ours. During just 1 billion years, our 1970s-era Voyager spacecraft could reach the opposite side of the galaxy. Do the math. If even a fraction of those 10 billion Earth-like planets developed technological civilizations, and if even a fraction of those civilizations launched probes into space, the statistical probability of interstellar artifacts passing through our solar system isn't zero. It's inevitable. So, why are the experts so certain 3I Atlas is natural? Is it evidence? Or is it just their training data talking? Here's where it gets uncomfortable, because Loeb didn't just speculate. He cataloged 12 specific anomalies about 3I Atlas. Not opinions, not theories, measurable anomalies with statistical probabilities. Let me give you the ones that should make you ask questions. Anomaly number 1, the trajectory. 3I Atlas's retrograde trajectory aligns to within 5 degrees of the ecliptic plane, the flat disk where all the planets orbit. The statistical probability of this happening by random chance? 0.2%. That's 0.2%. Anomaly number 5, the nickel problem. When spectroscopic analysis was done of the gas plume around 3I Atlas, they found something that doesn't match any known natural comet. The ratio of nickel to iron is inverted, much more nickel than iron. Where else do we see that ratio? In industrially produced nickel alloys, the kind we make on Earth. The probability of this composition occurring naturally in a comet? Less than 1%. Let that sink in. It has the chemical signature of manufactured metal. Anomaly number 8, the wow signal coincidence. In 1977, SETI detected the famous wow signal, a radio transmission so powerful and unusual, scientists still debate its origin. 3I Atlas arrived from the same direction in space as that signal, within 9 degrees. The statistical probability? 0.6%. You don't have to believe it's connected, but you should ask why no one in the mainstream is even discussing the coincidence. Anomaly number 6, the missing water. Normal comets are made mostly of water ice. That's why they're called dirty snowballs. 3I Atlas? Only 4% water by mass. For comparison, every other comet we've studied, including 2I Borisov, the previous interstellar comet, had dramatically more water. So if it's not water ice creating that massive gas plume we're seeing, what is? Anomaly 11, the impossible physics. Near its closest approach to the Sun, 3I Atlas exhibited non-gravitational acceleration. That means it changed speed in a way gravity alone can't explain. For a natural comet, that happens when ice evaporates and creates jets, like tiny rocket thrusters. But here's the problem. To produce the acceleration NASA measured, 3I Atlas would have needed to lose at least 13% of its total mass. That's catastrophic mass loss. Comets that lose that much mass break apart. We've watched it happen dozens of times. Yet, when 3I Atlas emerged from behind the sun in November, new images showed it completely intact. A single body, no fragmentation, no breakup. So it accelerated like it lost 13% of its mass, but it didn't lose 13% of its mass. How? Now here's where the pattern becomes a problem. NASA has been completely silent about 3I Atlas for 42 days. From October 1st to November 12th, the entire government shut down. No data releases, no press conferences, no images. And that silence covered the most critical period. On October 3rd, 3I Atlas passed within 19 million miles of Mars. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, equipped with the HiRISE camera, the most powerful camera we have in deep space, had a perfect view. But here's what's strange. The HiRISE website continued releasing new images of Mars every single day during the shutdown. Daily Mars photos. But for 3I Atlas, they posted this message. Any images of the interstellar comet 3I Atlas are considered NASA-wide news. Because the federal government is in shutdown, communications of NASA views have been suspended. Why was 3I Atlas singled out? Why were Mars surface photos fine to release, but this comet required special classification as NASA-wide news? Tomorrow, November 19th, 3 p.m. Eastern, NASA is holding a live event. 4 senior officials, the Associate Administrator, the Science Mission Directorate Leadership, division heads from both astrophysics and planetary defense. When was the last time NASA assembled that level of leadership for a routine comet observation? They don't. Loeb ends his latest article with a scenario that reads like science fiction, but is based on actual mission capability. We have the technology right now to land on an interstellar object and return samples. We did it with the asteroid Bennu through the OSIRIS-REx mission. So imagine we send a mission to 3I Atlas. The spacecraft lands, and instead of finding rock and ice, you find a smooth metallic surface, with seams, with panels. Loeb writes, the fundamental question after landing on a spacecraft with buttons on its surface would be whether to press any of these buttons. He's not joking. He's asking, what is our protocol if we discover that something we've been calling a comet is actually a probe? Because here's his actual argument stripped from all the media spin. The scientists telling you 3I Atlas must be natural have only ever studied natural objects. Their expertise is real, their training is real, but their frame of reference is limited to what they've seen before. And if they couldn't recognize a Tesla Roadster as artificial, if the Minor Planet Center literally cataloged a car with a mannequin inside it as a near-Earth asteroid, why should we trust them to recognize something far more advanced? Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, NASA breaks their silence. 4 senior officials, images from multiple spacecraft, data from the Mars flyby. One publication called it NASA's high-stakes interstellar showdown that could validate or demolish Avi Loeb's theories. But here's what no one is saying out loud. If those images show what Loeb's data suggests they'll show, if they confirm even half of these 12 anomalies, then we're not just talking about a strange comet. We're talking about a failure of institutional trust, a failure to ask the obvious questions, a failure to recognize that the universe might contain things our training data never prepared us for. I'll be covering the NASA event live tomorrow, because whether 3I Atlas is a rock, an iceberg, or something else entirely, we deserve to see the data that's been kept from us for 42 days. And we deserve better than experts who confuse cars with asteroids. Click on this video to watch what NASA said to the officials after they broke almost 2 months of silence. And click on here to watch my other videos related to 3I Atlas.